So what's up, y'all? I'm finally having a real conversation with a gang stalker. I am loving it. This dude is so hilarious. It's about time that these peoples, persons, whatever, trying to say it nicely, but it's about time we have a real conversation with one of these individuals. You know, kind of dig in, dig deep down into their soul and really pull up their garbage and lay it out on the table. Okay? Because this dude is hilarious. Okay? I'm trying to save you guys some time, so I'm not going to save myself some time. So I'm not going to put up the comments in the conversation we're actually having. But this is great, y'all, because this doesn't happen too often. I haven't seen one of these like this. So I'm just having a great time with this psychopath / sociopathic narcissist. I'm having fun. Now it went from I need to, defend myself to I need to tell you about yourself. So hold up now. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity so that we can grow in courage to stand up for ourselves and not to allow just anyone to say whatever they want to say, because this is one of their tactics. At home, this person on here on my comments is actually going like targeting this person who's targeting me. Like, kudos to you. What is his name? His name is Kiwan, and weaponized. This person here, they're saying you're watching her and now you're gaslighting her. So you're her stalker. You're basically proving her right. Ding, 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 ding. That's what we need to do, because they want us to feel like we're crazy. They want us to make us look like we're crazy, when that's essentially what he's doing. He's gaslighting, and he's really trying to gaslight all of us and saying there are no targeted individuals. Well, we know that that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that. We know that. But that's okay. That's okay. So I want to dig into this and talk about some of these comments, because all this conversation me and him is having, I'm actually growing fond of him, because he's giving us an opportunity to kind of say give me an opportunity to kind of speak for what so many of us wanted to say to these people in our lives that continually to taunt us, to terrorize us, to commit violence against us, to target us without cause. Like, we did nothing to them. We don't deserve this. But so many of us have been going through this. But it's good that we're actually able to really now give him and give them a piece of our mind. So continue doing that. Continue standing up for us. Because by doing so, you're standing up for yourself. So kudos to those who are actually conversing back and forth. But remember, defend yourself, but don't use the same violent tactics that they use. That means no cursing, no type of aggression like they use. You can still defend yourself and keep it real, without actually going over into their area. So he goes on to say that he is a combat veteran. Okay, I'm gonna talk about some of his comments too, but he goes on to say he's a combat veteran, and then he also says, no wonder why he's so violent. Like, just the way that he's attacking me is in an emotional, violent way. Like, when you consistently try to diminish one's experiences simply to cause them emotional harm, that's what gaslighting is. And to me, emotional abuse is like a type of violence. It is, because it's without cause. Like, you don't know me. Well, you think you know me because you're chief handler, so you have been actually committing a crime by invading on my constitutional rights of privacy without my knowledge. But thank you for telling me. But he wants to say that I've made bad choices. Like, you're making a bad choice right now by digging into my private life, and I didn't give you authorization to do so. Like, voyeurism is a crime. Gang stalking is a crime. You know, these things, harassing people is a crime. But these are the things he's doing. It's like, you know, these gang stalkers, they have like a disassociation personality disorder too. Like, borderline personality disorder, all of that. It's like, you're not seeing what you're doing. But I got some books for him, and I'm going to introduce those so it can kind of give light to some elementary lessons we were actually given on how to treat people and how to actually, he talked about being observative. You need to observe your emotions and how you're feeling and what actually caused you to start even gaslighting me on my YouTube channel anyway. You know, when you have something to do with my life, you know me. You know, well, not you know me, you know who I am. You know things about me. You're proving it when you were like, let's see. Well, he talked about my family and friends and things of this sort where, you know, I didn't tell him how many friends I have, you know, and then he was going on to say, you know, you're a drug addict. You said you use drugs. Anything like all chemicals are drugs. I didn't say which drug I was using. So you don't know, you can't even say that I was referring to any other type of drug use other than alcohol, which is also a drug. You know, it's all the same the same thing, chemical that is in alcohol, like tequila, rum, gin, Bacardi, what's the other one? It's a cognac or whatever. It's the same chemicals they use in gasoline. Like, that's a drug. It's a chemical. But he couldn't discern that. So, and that's okay, you know. All right, well, he got 2 degrees, but, you know, I don't know in what, you know. He said he was a combat veteran. I don't know how you had time to do all that. But I know they go to school too. You know, and that's cool, you know. But I was like, no wonder why he's so violent, you know, aggressive in the things that he's saying to me without real cause. And apparently somebody else said he goes on other YouTube channels and does the same thing, which I've never seen him before. But why take the time out of your 6-figure salary schedule to taunt people and terrorize people with your emotional abuse statements online? It just doesn't make any sense. To me, he's very sociopathic and psychopathic, and now we're getting somewhere. We're getting to the bottom of why he has these type of behavioral issues. It's because he used to be a combat veteran, and you can't just train anyone in combat. They have to be mentally, you know, stable, which apparently he's not very mentally stable. But he was also talking about how he saves lives, and I don't understand how killing people saves lives. But I guess he was talking about maybe for his country. Like, I live in America, so if he's an American soldier, maybe he was saying like he's saving lives by fighting for America. And granted, you know, if you do it with good intention, you're going to try to save lives, but at the same time, you're still killing people. And I never think that war by violence is a solution to the problem. I just don't. It hasn't resulted to any type of peace, like maybe temporary peace, you know, but not sufficient for a long-standing peace. Like, we're still talking about going to world war. They're still talking about World War III, you know. It's been war in Afghanistan, war in Iraq, war in Iran, war with Syria, war with Japan, war with China, now war with Korea. You know, they would just talk about that. War with Russia. You know, it's just like war is never, by violence, is never the solution to the problem. But I guess the CIA, you know, teaches a different type of code, because he's calling himself a handler. He's CIA affiliated, and they don't have no code of ethics, like ways to actually collect intelligence without taking away the rights of humanity, like our rights to live. I guess you can say, just from what I gathered. I've been studying them for quite some time, and they're a bunch of Nazis. I mean, not all the CIA people who work for the CIA are Nazis, but they are of earlier Nazi origin. Not originally, but after Hitler, you know, they brought all the Nazi scientists over here to America to work within the CIA, and that's when they started experimenting on everybody. And I got some videos coming for that, you know, but they keep anything that I put up that associates, most of the stuff I put up that associates, like CIA tactics and stuff, they take it down, and they were like, oh, you know, it's supposed to be fair use, but they're taking it down. So they say use the 70-30 rule. Another YouTuber says use the 70-30 rule, where you give more of your commentary than the actual footage. And so I'm gonna try that and see if they continue to take the stuff down. But if it doesn't matter, I'm gonna upload it somewhere else because it's valuable information. Like it displays the behavioral patterns of our attackers, these gang stalkers, and how they operate on a daily basis. So hold up, not make a mistake in my English, because he said I can't pass an elementary English test. I mean, like you don't understand the concept of slang, you know? Just because you use a little slang, you got to be uneducated, you know? That's called personality. I'm not using profanity. So that's a language of violence. I'm not using profanity. So I'm not saying nothing wrong, you know? And I give Chief Handler no credence to say that I don't have a level of education, you know? But again, it's more of emotional abuse and attacking. So it makes me question a lot about the type of training that our military undergoes, because like my cousin is an ex-Marine, and she didn't come back a psychopath. No, neither does she have sociopathic tendencies. She's a good-hearted person, you know. She's crazy as hell. Like, she'll fight you. I mean, I come from a line of women that were fighters. Like, we will fight you back. We're nice and we kind-hearted and we try to treat everybody with love, but your face determines, the face you show me determines the face I'm gonna show you. Like, I'm not gonna just let you do or say whatever you want to do to me. I wasn't raised to be somebody's footstool, you know, and I never wanted somebody to be my footstool. That's why I would never get myself into a position where I needed to rule over people in a way of superiority, like I'm better than you. That's why I would never go work for the CIA, or the FBI does some good. You know, I give them some kudos. Like, some of them are corrupt, but a lot of them do their job, and I respect them. I respect law enforcement. You know, there's a lot of good men amongst the small percentage that is corrupt. You know, I have no problem with authority, like, you know. But then he goes on to say some other stuff, like everybody knows you're not worth nothing. I was like, what? So my question is, what actually gives you value in this world? You know, because I thought value came by character, you know, moral principle, and how you treated other people. Like, because I don't know what they talk. I mean, apparently they don't say good things about me, but I ain't never had no problem in the mail department. You know, not especially even with all of my targeting, you know. So to say that I'm not worth whatever doesn't make any sense, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't have had I don't want to give too much information about my personal life, but I mean, I've had good relationships, and I've had good men, and I've had good, like, the men I have been in relationships with, and I usually have long relationships, and being when you're young and you're a female and you're raised by society more than you are raised by God, you know, you make some mistakes and you let a lot of good ones go, you know, because you're out there, you're having fun, and you don't want to be ruled over. You know, I'm a strong woman, so I never wanted to be ruled over, but I always attracted the alpha man. This man here, he may have had training in combat, but this is not a man, this is a boy. Because this is how boys act. Like, I've only had one that kind of cut up in this kind of way, in this abusive way. I'm not gonna say which one it is, but everyone else, any other guy that I have dated have been good men, kind-hearted, very alpha male, very in charge, very successful. That never had no problem in that area, and anyone I had a serious relationship wanted to marry me. So I don't know who he's talking to, but my experiences in relationships don't line up with what he says. So whatever needs to be said about me in order to go along with the program is said, but the truth is in the pudding. So if I wasn't worth nothing, then no man would want to marry me. You know, wouldn't have wanted to marry me, you know. So never had no, because I'm a good woman. You know, I treat people, I try to treat people with the same kindness I want to be treated. But every now and then, when they start showing me their true identity, you know, I have to flip the lid and let them know what to do, where to go, and what to do when they get there, like I'm doing with this chief handler. But I don't understand how you can go to fight for your country and then come back a psychopath. Or maybe I do understand how that can happen. You were mentally unstable before you went to fight for our country. If you from America. I mean, nobody knows really much about you because you hide yourself. You know, you got so much courage. You know, you're a combat veteran. You should have courage to, you know, let us know who you are, you know. Stop hiding. But he goes on to talk about having a high school diploma. And if you do have one, it makes me question where my tax dollars have gone. But it makes me question where my tax dollars have gone, because my tax dollars gave you a job. As a combat veteran, we pay your bills. He goes on to talk about his 3,100 square foot house. Like, we bought that only for you to use it to rule over us, to say, look what I have, like a lot of celebrities do. Like, I loved Beyonce until she came and she was talking about bees bow down to me, bees bow down to me. And I was like, oh Lord, I can't listen to you no more, because I don't know why you feel, once you get to a certain plateau, why do you feel like you have to, everybody now has to worship you like you're a golden calf, like, ooh, say hell, you know, whoever. I don't understand. It makes me like hate money. It makes me not want to, kind of want to stay at a comfortable level where bills are paid and I have money to share, but I don't really want to get to the point where I'm in the millions, because it seems like when you get to the millions or you get all this stuff, you start losing your freaking mind. You start going crazy. Like, you start talking like I'm better than you, like serve me, you know, like kind of like when I was watching the episode of Keep Up with the Kardashians? Yeah, and earlier seasons, like first season, Scott Disick like stuck the money into that freaking waiter's mouth, and I was like, why would you do that? You know, but money drives people to do strange things. You never heard that saying, say do something strange for a little bit of change, you know, and it don't be a little bit, but you know, it, to me it's a little bit, because it's like, if it makes you do strange things and have strange behavioral patterns and treat people in a strange way, then it's doing something strange for a little bit of change, because it made you act the way you acting. So anyway, moving along. So, but when he told me he was a combat veteran, I was like, I told you you was too old to be acting like you do, you know, because you had to put in some work to get there. You got 2 degrees. and you a combat veteran, you put some work in, baby, and you're too old to be cutting up and acting like you do. You need to be in bed. But I'm sorry. I mean, I guess this is not a laughing matter, but I mean, yes, it is. It's freaking hilarious because if you ever watch The Devil Advocate, I want to put that scene on one of my videos where the devil goes on to say it's not a coincidence where these people come from. He says you cyberkinetically attach them to every desire until everyone is an inspiring emperor. Yes. When he was talking about the dude, I forgot the dude's name, but he was running, and then the homeless people that was demons came and attacked him and beat him. And he was like, he's crying out for help. He's crying out, Eddie, yeah, Eddie. He was like, oh, now Eddie's crying out for help, but there's no one listening. I want to put that in one of my videos so bad because it's a description of what's happening to the minds of people now today. It gives a perfect explanation to the devil's power over people's mind, especially through money. Seriously. The Bible says not money in itself, but the love of money is the root of all evil. The love. It becomes lust. You become the lust after money. Like, ooh, I need to have it. Ooh, give it to me, baby. Ooh, give it to me. I'll do anything you say. Yeah. That's kind of how what the love of money is. You lose all morality for money. You see how he's like, see how he's talking to me? Oh, he big dog on the block. I got a 3,100 square foot house, baby. And yes, I can tell you all about yourself and I'm better than you. And he got a little position and, working for the government, they make you feel like, you better than everybody else. They don't have to follow no rules because they make them. No. That's not really how it goes, baby, but, it's good to, I guess, thank you, Zeus, or whoever, but it's just not true. But, what else I need to talk about? This is good. This is really good. I like talking about him because he gives a perfect example of the state of minds of these people. Y'all should go and read some of these messages he wrote me. But thinking about the fact that he's a combat veteran, and it's like, this is why we have problems with gun violence in the world in general. Just violence in general. You go off and you train these people to fight and kill people and they come back psychopaths. You just can't give anybody a weapon nowadays. As you can see, some people use their position to attack people, like these perps and GangStalkers, like this guy called the Chief Handler. I'm loving it. I'm like, I'm loving it. Ain't that the McDonald's commercial? Yeah, he's like a Happy Meal to me because I have been dying to really honestly have a real conversation with these individuals. Really. This is a great opportunity. I can't wait to, it's like, what would he think of next? I can't wait. Seriously. It's hot in here because it's just like so much energy fueling through me because, he's giving me all of this negativity and I'm taking it and I'm just like, oh, it's fuel to me because they needed to be told something a long time ago. And I know a lot of people have been so emotionally abused by all of this. They couldn't say, they feel so victimized. They just want to just go in hiding. I've been there. I've done that. But now I know what the hell is going on. Now I got something to say, baby. I got something to say. Okay, so what I'm thinking to myself is how you gonna be a combat veteran and then go like parade around hiding behind a mask. Why not let us know who you are, Chief Handler? Who you working for? Like, how you got that 3,100 square foot house on the water? Like, tell us, like, what are you doing? We already kind of know what you do, but like, who do you work for? We just want to know. Itching ears want to know. So, I really want to know. I want to know the source of your problem. I really want to know. I want to know where you get all your training from. Yeah, I have my own reasons, but I want to know. So apparently, the people you get your training from don't give you a morality lesson. Because the way you're acting is not it's not becoming. It doesn't make you look very good, as you can see. I can see. I mean, I have respect for. I have deep respect for people who have fought for America, and some of them have went into the fight with good intention and came out a Manchurian candidate, but that's not their fault. It's really not their fault. But every time I see a veteran, I'm like, God bless you. Thank you so much for, doing what you do best. And he was so that usually I never had no negative feedback from a veteran or a soldier or anything like that when I say God bless you, and nothing but humility. Totally opposite of this one, because he's like a Ted Bundy that works for the government, or did work for the government. I think he still works, because you live in a 3,100 square, which is not that big actually. You think about it, it's not that big. But he's saying like it's big, so it must be big to him. Okay, so I have some books I want to read. I do. I have some books I want to read. This is story time, guys. Freaking story time. Look, because he want to talk about me making choices, okay? You know what? Let's talk about some of your choices, okay? Let's talk about some of the choices that these guys make, okay? To give kind of credence to the fact that these people are emotionally unstable. Now, we already at 26 minutes, so I don't know if I should make a part 2 or if I should continue to go into it, because it's probably going to be like 40 minutes. I don't know. Which I think I should do. Oh, this is not live. So, I guess I'm just going to have to maybe introduce it and then do a part 2. So I stumbled upon these books that was given to a relative of mine, and I borrowed them. Of course I got permission first. Cause I don't never want to, even though you're like related to me in my blood, I never want to feel like I'm taking advantage of anybody or being dishonest, and it's just my conscience. The Holy Spirit would not like allow me to. So I even asked. But they're children books. But I be talking about this stuff, and it's like, how better to give our perps and GangStalkers a lesson on understanding their emotions except through children books. Look at that. Oh, it's kind of backwards, but it says feel good. Understanding your emotions. This is good, because it seems like they teach us in elementary school how to behave in order to be good little slaves. And that's great. We should learn how to respect authority and behave in an orderly way. But somehow, as we get into in our adulthood or our teen years, through music and social media and news and, well, not really news, but movies, they give praise to people, or actors or celebrities or whatever, for acting badly. Like Lil Wayne is, Lil Wayne is just, he's up there. Like he a big dog on the block. And I've heard on some other videos, I heard some songs, some lyrics of some songs that I didn't even know was there. Okay, even though I had to stop listening to his stuff, but I think I had kept one song. It was like a club song, and it was edited. So I kept it, but even the language in the song has to keep me from listening to it. Even though I like the beats, I think I'm gonna just download the instrumental just so I can hear the beat, because I like the beat. It's a really cool beat, but I just can't support his message. Like his message was like, I'll go into your mama's house, your brother's house, your family's house, and kill everybody and your kids and all that stuff. And I was like, why are we saying go Lil Wayne, all his concerts, he's talking about killing children and killing people? He talks about worshiping Satan and everything, and it's just like, son, you know, there's nothing great about saying, oh, hell, Satan. There is nothing good about it. Okay? Like, Satan is just the whole association, affiliation with Alice Crowley and all of them. Like, they're the ones who pushes the agenda for people to just totally not consider one another at all. Do whatever you want to do to people if it feels right. If we can't have everybody going off of what feels right, we need to have people going off of what is right. But when you go to work for a company, they want you to do what's right. They want you to follow their rules. They want you to have a code of conduct and respect for when you dealing with coworkers. They want you to be honest. Okay? But Satanists or Alice Crowley and his messages, do what thou will, they teach anything but considering thy neighbor. You know, we're gonna talk about that because I've been trying to put out this video, but I have been under emotional attack, and it talks about the war we're really dealing with. And I'm a Christian under construction, okay? I am, and I got some talk back, and I will defend myself like David, not like when what he did with Urias and Bathsheba, but the pre-David, when pre-King David, when he was actually doing what he was supposed to do, where he was like, he had so much fight in him and everything, and he was like defending his land and his people and everything, that's me. So I'm still in pre-David mode where I'm just like, I don't care how big you are. I got a slingshot and I'm ready to take you down. Okay. You might be big, sucker. You might have a weapon and all of that, but I got a slingshot. Okay. And that's all I need. I'm like little David, let's go. So God is like, calm thyself. There's a better way to approach the situation, and I'm working on that. That's why I'm doing this YouTube channel, to talk about my emotions. So this is one book where we're going to talk about, I'm going to do a part 2 because we're already at 32 minutes. So it says Understanding Your Emotions. It's a really good book. And these people who, like this chief handler, he needs to understand what's causing his behavior. What's causing the gaslighting? There's a reason for it. So it's in this book. And then, since you want to talk about my choices, which apparently, thanks for giving me the evidence I needed to say that you are stalking me and you know so much about me, because he said I made bad choices that led to my sad life. Like, how do you know that? Some choices are unavoidable, but okay. They kind of drive you to certain things. But anyway, let's move on. And he talks about how my choice is going to get me locked up. No, they did something illegal recently, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And trust me, when I get to the bottom of it, y'all going to be there for it. Yeah. I'm like, thank you. Give me some material, because y'all getting away with things y'all shouldn't be getting away with. So thank you. Keep breaking the law. I got something for you. But anyway, look at this. This is, it's backwards. Okay. It says Making Choices. This book talks about how we should treat other people and why, how we should treat other people and how we should make the choices in treating people the right way. And this is a children's book. So I'm going to talk about that next, hopefully after this. See you in a little bit.